Hello. This is a kind of impromptu, rather unplanned video lesson. Um, I bought a new book on teaching pronunciation because I'm working on pronunciation with a couple of new students, and well, there aren't that many really good pronunciation resources for teachers. And then last week I came across this, the Pron Pack, and I used this today in a class with a student, and I have to say, it was pretty awesome. So I want to talk you through this and just explain a little bit about how this works. I'm only going to talk about vowels. I'm not talking about consonants today. So it looks a little bit complicated, but actually it's a very clever reinterpretation of the kind of standard phonemic chart. So we've got an outer circle and an inner circle and a center. And the outer circle, so that's this bit around here, is made up of long vowels and diphthongs. Now, it's really interesting what this guy has done, because he's included this sound as a long vowel. And on other versions of the chart, this is a diphthong. This is over in the diphthong section. So the long vowels are at these points. So here, 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 and here. And then the other squares, or they're not squares, the other hexagon shape thing is a diphthong. The inner circle are the short vowel sounds, these ones here. And then right in the center, we've got the lovely schwa, which you should know is the most common sound in spoken English and is used in unstressed syllables. This R, you can see R's somewhere in some of these hexagon shapes. Now, you probably know that some English native speakers use a lot more R sound than others. So, for example, for me, with my pronunciation, my accent, this word I just say ear. But there are other accents where they might say something like ear with a very clear sound. That's entirely up to you. There is no right and no wrong. And the final thing to point out is this jaw and lip position. So this bit here, the E and the I, your mouth is closed, but it's wide, right? So narrow here, but wide going across. This part here, the oo and the your mouth is closed and round. So it's kind of like ooh, like this. Along here, that's an interesting word, relaxed. So your mouth is relaxed here. Down here, your mouth is open and round, or like this. And over here, open and wide, like this. And here he says it's middle and wide. So basically, if you wanted to practice with this very lovely little chart, I would always suggest starting here, because pretty much all learners, even if they don't always produce this sound, most English learners are familiar with this. So this is your E sound. And a lovely way to think of this is if you're going to take a selfie of yourself, you want a nice big smile, E, like this. This one here is an oo sound. And you can imagine that you're going to blow somebody a kiss with this sound, okay? So you've got a lovely oo, E, oo. This one here, I love this. It's just a relaxed sound. And it's kind of like the sound that we say when we don't know what to say. Oh, I forgot. So this is an sound. This one here is often quite a tricky sound for people to find. But a really good way to think of it, oh, it's the sound and the shape that you make when you're going to yawn. I wouldn't really yawn in a video like this, but if you're tired, oh, and you do this, or that gets you more or less the right sound. I'm tired. This one over here, again, learners find this difficult to find. If you think about going to the doctor or the dentist and they want to check your throat, maybe, ah, this is the same sound. Ah. This is a strange one. Air, air, air. This is an air sound. So your mouth is quite wide, air and open. I'm going to do the short vowels next. So basically, to begin with, just make them really, really short. The biggest problem I think people have is that they don't make the long vowels long enough and they don't make the short vowels short enough. So aiming for a contrast between long and short is really going to help. Okay. So this one is E. This is I, 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 I. It's really short. I, I, I. These two, quite similar, but this one is long. Ooh. This one, short sound. This is a harder one to find, right? This kind of upside down U shape or V shape. But it's an ah, 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 ah. Very, very short. Ah. This one, ah, 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 ah. This one over here is an eh, 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 eh. Diphthongs, we've got this one and this one together. And when you have a diphthong, you've basically got two vowel sounds you need to slide between them. So ear, ear. This one is taken from this sound. So it's eh, oh, eh, oi, oi. Here, u, u, oh, oh. And with all these diphthongs, you should be able to see the mouth changing shape. Oh, obviously I'm exaggerating, but in order to make those two vowel sounds, your mouth has to change shape. Oh. This one has got an ah, kind of like the beginning of this. Ah, ooh, ah, ooh, ah, ooh, ow, ow, ow. This is the noise that British people say when we hurt ourselves. We say, ow. This one, ah, eh, ah, eh, I, I, bike. And this one, eh, 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 a. This is an A sound. So some of you may have seen other pronunciation videos that I've done where I've talked about what happens to the corners of the mouth and what happens to the tongue. And I'm just going to show you very quickly how this interpretation of the chart shows us this. So although the layout is different, the standard chart has phonemes just going along in a row. The same information is within this kind of honeycomb shape. So if we go from the E to the oo, now obviously E, oo, E, oo, my mouth is moving from very wide to very kind of closed and round. But something is also happening with the tongue. Look at the tip of this pen. E, oo, e, oo, e, oo. So you should see this this pen going backwards and forwards. This is because the tongue is going forwards and backwards in my mouth. So over here my tongue is forwards, e, but over here my tongue has actually gone backwards, e, oo, e, oo. And basically there's a little path that you can take here, there, and you can go e, I, oo, oo, e, oo, oo, and you should see e, I, oo, oo, that my mouth gets more and more round as I make my way through this journey. Now for these down arrows, something else is happening. I'm going to move from here to here. E, a, e, a. So this time you should see that my jaw is dropping. E, a, e, a. But the corners of my mouth are staying the same. E, a. So for this downward journey, the mouth gets wider, the tongue also drops lower, but the corners of the mouth don't move. And the final one to show you is from oo to o to o. Look again. Oo, o, o. Oo, o, o. Again, corners of my mouth stay the same. Oo, o, o. But my jaw drops. So I hope that was interesting. I'm quite fascinated by this. I think it's a very smart way to organize what can often feel like a lot of information for people. If you've got any thoughts, any comments, any questions about this, please do ask me. I absolutely love teaching pronunciation. I would definitely suggest go away, have a little bit of practice with the long vowels, the diphthongs and the short vowels, and good luck. Enjoy.